Emily never imagined that something as simple as choosing an outfit could quietly change the direction of her life. On a warm Saturday afternoon in late spring, sunlight poured through the large windows of her suburban home in Oregon. She stood in front of her bedroom mirror, adjusting the hem of her navy blue mini-skirt. It wasn't overly bold, but it was shorter than what she normally wore. She had paired it with a soft white blouse and low heels, nothing flashy, just something that made her feel confident again after years of putting herself last. At 38, Emily had been through enough emotional ups and downs to last a lifetime. A long marriage had ended 2 years earlier, leaving her with a quiet house and far too much time to think. Most of her friends had families, careers, or busy lives that made spontaneous visits rare. But today was different. Her closest friend, Laura, had texted her that she would be stopping by with her son, Jason, to pick up some documents Emily had borrowed. Jason was 25 years old, recently graduated from college, and back in town while he searched for work. Emily had known him since he was a kid, back when he was all scraped knees and shy smiles. Over the years, she had watched him grow into a polite, thoughtful young man. Still, she didn't think much about his presence today. To her, he was simply Laura's son. Emily finished getting ready, brushed her hair, and walked downstairs. She set out 3 glasses on the kitchen counter, filled a pitcher with lemonade, and tried to ignore the faint nervousness fluttering in her chest. She didn't know why she felt that way. Maybe it was just the unfamiliar feeling of trying to look nice for once. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang. Emily took a breath and walked over, opening the door with a warm smile. Laura stood there first, cheerful as always. Behind her was Jason, taller than Emily remembered, his dark hair neatly styled and a polite smile on his face. "Hey, Em," Laura said, stepping inside. "Thanks for having us." "Of course," Emily replied. Her eyes briefly met Jason's as he followed his mother inside. She noticed something shift in his expression when he saw her outfit. It was quick, subtle, but she caught it. His eyes flicked down to her skirt and then back up to her face. "Hi, Jason," she said casually. "Hi, Emily," he replied, clearing his throat slightly. You look nice." Emily felt a faint warmth rise to her cheeks. "Thank you." They moved into the living room, and Laura began talking about work, barely noticing the brief awkwardness that had just passed. Jason sat on the couch, hands resting on his knees, listening quietly. Emily took a seat across from them, crossing her legs out of habit. When she did, she again noticed Jason quickly glance away, as if trying to avoid staring. The conversation flowed easily at first. Laura chatted about her job, about how difficult it was to find good employees these days. Emily nodded along, occasionally adding a comment. Jason mostly stayed quiet, though he chimed in now and then. After a while, Laura's phone buzzed. She looked at it and frowned slightly. "Oh no, I completely forgot I have to call my boss. I'm going to step outside for a minute." "Jason, grab those papers from Emily while I'm gone, okay?" "Sure, Mom," Jason said. Laura walked out to the porch, leaving Emily and Jason alone in the living room. The sudden silence felt heavier than Emily expected. Jason stood up. Where are the papers?" "On the dining table," Emily replied. "I'll get them." She walked toward the dining area, Jason following behind her. As she reached for the stack of documents, she felt strangely aware of his presence. When she turned around, she found him standing closer than she thought. "Here you go," she said, handing him the papers. "Thanks," he said, but he didn't move right away. There was a nervous energy in his posture, something he was clearly holding back. "Is everything okay?" Emily asked gently. Jason hesitated. This might sound weird, but I just wanted to say something." Emily's heart skipped a beat. "What is it?" He took a breath. "I know this probably isn't my place, but seeing you today, you seem really confident. Different. In a good way." Emily blinked, surprised. "Oh, well, thank you. I mean it," he said quickly. "After everything you've been through, it's nice to see you happy." There was no flirtation in his tone, just sincerity. Emily felt a soft wave of relief. She had worried for a moment that the awkwardness was something inappropriate, but this was simply a kind, if slightly clumsy, compliment. "That's very sweet of you, Jason," she said. "It's been a long road, but I'm trying to find myself again." He nodded. "You deserve that." For a moment, they just stood there, the quiet filled with something warm and honest. Then Laura's voice called from outside, "I'm done." Jason stepped back, suddenly aware of how close he had been. I should give these to Mom." Emily smiled. "Go ahead." The rest of the visit went smoothly. Laura gathered her papers, thanked Emily again, and they soon headed out. As Jason left, he gave Emily one last polite smile. "Take care, Emily," he said. "You too, Jason." When the door closed, Emily leaned against it for a moment, letting out a slow breath. What had happened wasn't dramatic or shocking, but it had meant something. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen not just as someone's ex-wife or someone's friend, but as herself. Over the next few weeks, Emily found herself thinking about that day more often than she expected. Not about Jason specifically, but about the feeling it had given her. She began dressing a little nicer, going out more, reconnecting with parts of her personality she had buried for years. One afternoon, she ran into Laura at a coffee shop. "You look great, Em," Laura said, smiling. "Did something change?" Emily laughed softly. "I think I just remembered who I am." Laura nodded, not realizing how much that simple visit had helped her friend. Jason would still come by occasionally with his mother, always polite, always respectful. Whatever moment of awkwardness had existed that first day never crossed a line. Instead, it became something better, a reminder to Emily that life didn't end with heartbreak, and that even small moments could spark big changes inside you. And all because of a simple outfit, a quiet afternoon, and a kind word from someone who reminded her that she was still worthy of confidence and happiness.